There we go. We're on the air, kids. How is everyone doing tonight? Are y'all ready to celebrate The Empire Strikes Back?
Hell yeah.
All right.
Affirmative.
Well, let's before we get started, let's go around the thing here, and everyone can introduce themselves. We're gonna skip this guy for right now, and we'll jump over to Mr. Payne there on the end.
Hey, how's it going? Just wanted to say hi to everybody out there. Hopefully you guys are having a good Sunday. I mean, we don't want to get personal, don't want to bring anything from the outside world. So everybody at home, just hope you can sit back, relax, and just watch us get our nerd on with Star Wars.
Absolutely. And right down here, Mr. Nico.
Hi. I didn't think of an intro. So, Antonio, what do you have to say?
No, I just hope that everybody's staying safe. I think it's the most important thing right now. And that hopefully anyone that's watching this gets a kick out of us, nerding out over Empire. My favorite Star Wars movie. Actually, probably my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to be pretty embarrassed. So, let's get this.
All right. And over in the corner pocket, Mr. Maniac.
Hi, yeah, I've put the glasses away. I've taken the bad guy persona away, and I'm just here to. I've got my giant stein of beer because I was told this was a barroom trivia. So when in Rome, am I right? So I'm just here to have fun and celebrate Star Wars the best way that I can. Drunk.
Awesome. Awesome.
I just realized what I was going to say. I had an intro planned a few hours ago, and I was going to say,
well,
it's too late.
I was going to say I haven't been in a bar. I haven't been in a barroom brawl since this past New Year's Day.
All right.
When you brought beer, Mark, I decided to get fancy and just get some bubbly for this whole thing.
Hey, man.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to get up and get my beer, but that's okay because
I've got
a treat for you guys, and for those of you watching. Those of you that are in the MTFO server know that one of the new divisions that we just started up is a little thing called the Anytime Anywhere division, and this is sort of it pays homage to the 24/7 championship that the WWE has, but it's sort of the version that we're able to do in this type of media. So we're about to have our very first match. So everyone be quiet and watch. This is going to be exciting.
It's a new day here in the MTFO. And a new title. Anytime, anywhere. And like my city's namesake, I want to be the first champion.
I want to tell for the Anytime, Anywhere title.
You will get 5 questions from all over the MTFO. Once the question is read aloud, you will have 10 seconds to answer. The first competitor to reach 3 points wins. If both competitors get 3 points at the same time, the highest score at the end of the match wins. If there's a tie, the champion retains the title. Question number 1 comes in the category of movie release dates. What year saw the release of the first Saw installment? And pins down. All right, let's start with Bill. Mr. Philadelphia, what do you got?
I don't know, 2004?
Okay, and Kevin, what have you got?
I had 2004 as well.
And you both got it right.
I got a movie release dates question right? Oh my God.
Good job. So one all right now. All right, our second question is going to be coming in the category of barroom trivia. And your question is, what is the name of Garth Algar's 1976 AMC Pacer? And pins down. We'll start with Kevin this time.
The car?
Car. And Bill?
I don't know. Lucille? Question mark?
Actually, we were looking for the Mirthmobile from Wayne's World. All right. Question number 3 comes into the category of comic book movies. And your question is, what is Mark Strong's character code name in Kingsman?
And we don't care about spelling, right?
No, this is not a spelling test.
Cool.
All right.
And pins down. And we will jump back to Philadelphia on this one.
Galahad?
Galahad and Kevin?
Merlin?
And it is Merlin. So we have
He's got 2. I got
1. All right. All right. Our next question, question number 4, comes in the category of Star Trek. And your question is, Khan and his followers were stranded on SETI Alpha 5 in what vessel? And pins down. All right, and then I think we're back to Kevin on this one. What have you got?
I put in not Enterprise.
And Bill?
I couldn't pull it.
We were looking for the Botany Bay. All right, and then our 5th question, it comes in the category of drama. And your question is, according to Charlie in Rain Man, what store sucks? Pins down. All right. What have you got, Bill?
Kmart?
Kmart and Kevin?
I also had Kmart.
And with that,
Yep.
our first champion of the Anytime Anywhere title is Kevin, the Freakazoid Moreno.
Yes, I can retire now.
Nicely done. Nice.
I love how he thought, well, I won. I've made it now. There's nowhere to go but down. So I'm just going to retire.
His response was like my favorite thing in that.
I liked his promo. It was just like, I want to be champion. That's it.
That's right. That's all you need, right?
Short, sweet, and to the point.
Short, sweet. I love it. We should all take note.
That's right. And we might have some more of that later tonight. But in the meantime, let's do some Empire Strikes Back trivia.
All right.
So we'll on the document, Corey, I didn't highlight your parts, but you know which ones to do. Okay. All right. So we're going to start with round 1, and it's going to be about merchandising.
Yogurt.
Huh.
So it's not about yogurt, but it is about the merchandising.
I'm scared now.
Yeah.
And don't be too scared. So merchandising, that's where the real money is made, just like Yogurt said. And in this case, it's where some real trivia is made. So for your first question, the first Kenner 3 3/4-inch action figure based on the Empire Strikes Back character was this mail-away figure.
I should probably introduce myself, Jeff, because you jumped over me and never did. So just in case anyone's wondering who that fat guy was in the middle of the screen, my name is Corey, and I was the Right Honorable Geek Minister of the Movie Trivia Face-Off. This is my last official duty with the league, and I'm very much looking forward to it. And I love this question because I sent away the 4 proofs of purchase it took to get this character in the mail.
That's awesome. I'm sorry, Corey.
That's okay. I'm easily forgettable.
I know that that's not true. All right, and it looks like everyone's finished writing, so we're going to start with Mr. Payne on the end there. What have you got for us, Ryan?
Yeah, I was not alive for the merchandising during this time, so I said Luke Skywalker.
Okay, that's a good guess. Nico?
I went with Darth Vader with a wrong colored lightsaber.
That's if you follow early Star Wars action figure history, that's not a bad guess. Antonio?
I also went with the Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Vader.
Okay, and Mark?
I went with the most overrated character in all of Star Wars, Boba Fett.
I agree with that sentiment.
Well, you know what? So did Kenner.
Oh my god.
Chewie was my second guess. Chewie was my second guess.
No offense to you, Corey, since you admitted that you had the figure. That's fine.
Yeah, and
actually, there is a funny story around that figure because originally it was promised that the missile would fire out of the back of the figure, but when Kenner realized that a bunch of kids would probably blind their friends by shooting these missiles at each other, they ended up like super gluing all the missiles in. So when I got my figure, it had the missile, but you couldn't fire it out. It was super glued right in there.
Oh,
yep.
God.
It just goes to show the answer to everything is either duct tape or super glue.
Still a cool figure, though.
All right.
All right. My turn now, Jeff?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Perfect. Question number 2. With The Empire Strikes Back, Kenner released new versions of R2-D2 and C-3PO. What were their special features? So we're looking for 2 answers here. And I had almost every single action figure you could think of except for the C-3PO version of this figure here.
Oh, man. That was one of my favorites.
It still haunts me. I had the R2-D2. So if anyone's looking to get me a farewell present after leaving the MTFO, the C-3PO from Empire Strikes Back would be a good one.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
All right, and we'll give you guys about 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right, pens down. Let's start with Nico.
R2-D2 had a comm stick. Imagine that any way you want. And C-3PO broke into pieces.
We'll have to go to the judges on that one. Antonio, what do you have?
I didn't know. Movable limbs?
Movable limbs. There's a novel idea for an action figure. They were really, really dull before you could move their arms. Mark, what did you have?
I wanted to go with the joke answers, but I didn't. Or maybe I did. I don't know. I said different colors and they could talk.
Ooh, that would have been interesting. Ryan, what did you have?
Oh, they were so much better than what I thought. I thought they either had electronic sounds or like electronic voice, for talking, and then a button that you press and they lit up.
Incorrect. That would have been cool, though. Nico's actually really close. That's why I'm looking at Jeff, because R2-D2 had a sensor scope that came out of his head, and R2 and C-3PO had removable limbs.
Yeah,
so he broke apart in essence.
Right. I think we can.
90s kid here.
I think we can take both of Nico's answers on that one.
Yay! Thank
Perfect.
you.
So does he get 1 for that or 2, Jeff?
That's 2 because he said R2 had the.
I said he had a. I said he had a comm stick, meaning but I was thinking like the thing that he plugs into the wall to get information.
Well,
so I'll
you shouldn't have said that.
In the movie, like when he's on Hoth trying to find Luke's position. I thought you were talking about that.
I'll just take the 1 point if that's fine.
That works.
That's very gentlemanly of you. Yes. So 1 point for Nico on that round.
So what we need to do for Corey is we need to get all by C-3PO figures, just the most recent ones, and we'll tear all the arms and legs off and then send them to Corey.
That sounds very morbid.
That's like a threat, a very weird threat.
Right. Oh, man. Okay, here we go. So question number 3 is Kenner's 1980 Luke Skywalker in Bespin Fatigues action figure came with what color of lightsaber?
Fun fact, the New Hope action figure had the same color lightsaber, and it was the first action figure I ever got for the Star Wars saga.
It is. And Jimmy Derry wouldn't be able to answer this question.
No, he wouldn't.
No. He's colorblind.
Oh.
Damn, that's a dig.
Yeah, well, he jokes about it more than anyone else.
Oh, I know.
He's gonna be so pissed when that Green Lantern series comes out on HBO Max.
All right, and it looks like everyone's done writing. So let's see what we got. We'll start with Antonio on this one.
I'm hoping it's not a trick question. Is it blue?
That's a color. Mark,
Yeah, I'm with Antonio there. Is it blue? It's got to be.
and Ryan.
I remember hearing in the behind the scenes that there was a mistake made on a toy line, which led to the creation of this lightsaber in Return of the Jedi. So I said green.
Okay, and Nico.
This goes back to my answer from question 1. I know an action figure had the wrong color lightsaber. This might have been it. I wrote yellow.
It is yellow.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And for the life of me and everyone else, we don't know why it was yellow. But the original A New Hope Luke had the retractable yellow lightsaber, like Corey was referencing, and this one actually had a stick lightsaber, but it was yellow. And they got it right on Return of the Jedi because that one was green.
If you'll remember, Jeff, the New Hope figure also had a little French tickler at the end.
It did. It did. Just like you get from the novelty machines in the bathroom.
All right.
Sorry.
Our
Moving on to-
childhoods are messed up.
No kidding. We're moving on to question number 4 now, gentlemen. Your question is, this fast food chain was the place to find drinking glasses showcasing the likes of Luke, Vader, Lando, and 3PO. Name that fast food chain. I had all these glasses. I'm assuming you did as well, Jeff.
I did. I think my mom may still have some of them. I hope she does. Mom.
Well, they were pretty cheap. I imagine all the graphics have melted away over the years after
Probably
washing.
so. Yeah, probably so.
All right, looks like everybody's about ready, except Mark, who's deep in thought. Well, I'm going to give him 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's start with Mark.
Well, I know that they were all the rage for Batman merchandise, so I just went with McDonald's.
Can't go wrong with McDonald's, Ryan.
I thought the same thing. I still have those Batman glasses at McDonald's.
That's 2 for Mickey D's, Nico.
I was actually thinking about their collectible Disney glasses, McDonald's.
That's 3 for Rotten Ronnie's. Let's go to Antonio.
Damn, I went with the Rivals, my favorite, Burger King.
Antonio is right. McMaggot Land had nothing from Empire Strikes Back. It was Burger King.
Burger King.
That's
That
why I
was
was
a
in deep
really
thought. I
different
said, which crappy burger place was it? McDonald's or
Right.
Burger King?
y'all were all close. Y'all were like
Dang.
right there.
Dancing around it.
And maybe McDonald's learned from this, and that's why they had the Batman cups.
Could be.
Yeah.
All right, guys. For our final question in round 1, we are doing a little something that we call around here unlisted. So the way this works is you're going to be given 30 seconds, and we're going to have you list as many movie titles as you can that either have the word Empire in it, Strikes in it, or Back in it.
Oh, God.
Any questions, or
Nope.
y'all ready to hit it?
Back. Okay.
All right, here we go. And start now.
These are always tough when A, you're drinking, and B, it's timed. So all of a sudden, all those movies that you thought had those words in it just fall out of your head, and you're grasping for straws.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, and I'm drinking now, so they may get a few extra seconds.
Okay. Maybe you shouldn't have gave you the stopwatch. Just saying.
All right, and we'll wrap it up in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pins down, guys. Actually, StreamYard makes it real easy because there's like a little timer right up there.
No, I'm sorry.
All right, we'll jump back over to Ryan for this one.
I only wrote 3. Looney Tunes Back in Action, Empire of the Sun, and Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back.
And all three of those work, my friend. So 3 more points for Ryan. Nico?
I'm sad this is all I could think of. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back and 300 Rise of an Empire.
Well, don't be sad. Those are both movies that I kind of enjoyed. And you get 2 points for that, my friend. Antonio?
I had 4, I think. I had a Backdraft, Empire of the Sun, Back to the Future, and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
And that's 4 points, sir. And Mark?
I kind of cheated the system. Back to the Future, 1 through 3. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and Back to You.
Those all work. 5 points.
Oh, I wasn't sure if you could put multiple in the franchise. Damn.
I was gonna get the Back to the Future, but I got stuck on Looney Tunes.
No, I remember that very vividly because I had asked Jeff about this on a backstage question one time when he was putting Barroom trivia together.
Yeah.
It was like,
Peggy Gubbins is like the winner on this because I don't remember what it was. It may have been like Nightmare on Elm Street series, but she listed every single one of them on there and like raked up all the points.
good on Peggy, man.
All right. So we're going to move on to round 2. You want to tell them about it, Corey?
Absolutely. Round 2 is the name game. So, if there's one thing that remains a constant in the Star Wars saga, it's the crazy names given to things. Some of the following questions are all about those names.
little something to get us in the mood.
All right. Now, before I hop into the first one, Jeff, do you want me to give a quick score update?
Yeah. Let's see how we're all doing.
All right. So right now we have Ryan with 3 points, Nico with 4, Antonio with 5, and Mark with his big 5-pointer at the end of the round there to take the lead with 6 points.
Nice and close. I like it.
All right. Let's go on with our first question here in the name game. And your question is, name the 2 Imperial officers Vader retires in The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, I think they both got a bad performance review.
No kidding. That is not an HR department you want to visit.
No. I'm thankful my manager is not Darth Vader, because that would suck.
Yes. All right. What do you say we go in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1? Pens down. Let's start with Ryan.
He is clumsy as he is stupid, and he accepted his apology, Admiral Ozzo and Captain Nita.
All right. Nico?
Ozzel and Nita.
All right. Antonio?
Captain Nita, Admiral Ozzo.
And Mark?
I'm the overachiever, and I just remembered Nita and not the other guy.
All right. Well, everybody got 2 except for Mark. He only got 1 on that one. It was Admiral Ozzel and Captain Nita.
Yeah, and I got to say, the way that Nico worded that, Ozzel and Nita, that's like the folk band I didn't know I wanted.
Or in Star Wars series, or rom-com that you didn't think you needed.
Right?
It sounds like a 1970s detective series.
Oh, or that.
This week on Ozzel and Nita.
We should be writing for Lucasfilm.
There you go.
Okay, question number 2. Some more names. We are introduced to 2 medical droids in the rebellion in The Empire Strikes Back. What are their names?
And 2 more classic action figures.
Yes.
Oh, damn.
Ozzel and Nita, starring Angie Harmon and whoever that other one is.
James Garner.
Yeah, there you go. James Garner.
Let's see. Yeah, these were 2 of my favorite action figures. Although one of them you couldn't really do a whole lot with.
No, not really.
All right, let's wrap it up in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And I think we're back to Nico on this one.
I now know I have to study something. Microphone and handsy.
That's the doctor's office I want to go to. Antonio.
I blanked. Nothing.
Okay, and Mark.
No blank boards, but I remembered R7 and J5.
And Ryan.
No blank boards. I just wrote down droid names, designations. I said B4 and 4A7.
Those are. You are actually closer than anyone else on the command.
Nobody was close.
Yeah, no one was super close.
Wow.
But you were the closest. We wanted 21B and FX7.
I said R7.
I got the B and the 7.
Was FX7 the one that just had the little spindly white rubber arms that would pull out?
Little arms that came out all around.
Yeah.
Oh, 2B1 was the one with Luke in the medical tank. Oh, God.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I didn't know the freaking name.
Yeah, he's the one that turned on the Bacta.
That's right.
Hey.
I thought Malcolm had a good suggestion here. Ozzel and Nita sounds like a Star Wars series that they could do for Disney Plus. I agree. I would tune into that.
Yeah, like when they're
very short.
Yeah, but spoiler alert, they don't make it.
Like
Prequel.
maybe it happens. Maybe that show happens like when they're right out of the academy, and like they're pulling shenanigans with their TIE fighters and playing like shirtless beach volleyball.
Top
They
Gun
can,
and Empire.
the Rebels universe. This can be in the Rebels universe. Like you have the Imperial side when you have the Rebels, and then you got Ozzel and Nita rising through the ranks, position, and then it can end when they're both assigned to Darth Vader.
Jeff and I can let the cat out of the bag now. We're leaving the MTFO because we're joining Lucasfilm, and we're going to be writing for Disney Plus here in the coming weeks. So
The soundtrack better only be Kenny Loggins. That's all I have to say.
obviously.
That is
all right. Let's get back to the game. Question number 3. This character looks to be running around Cloud City with a homemade ice cream maker.
Oh, God, I've heard his name before. What is it?
It is not Ben or Jerry.
Son of a bantha. Oh, my gosh.
But it definitely looks like a homemade ice cream maker. And people now cosplay as this character.
Yeah, I saw a video of that on YouTube, like a whole army of them running around with their homemade ice cream makers.
Oh, what is his name? I know
Well, you're
I've
going to have
heard
to
it
tell
before.
me in 5, 4,
Can I get a repeat?
3. Oh, we'll give you a technical repeat. Are we allowed to do that, Scribs?
Well, we usually don't, but this is the last show, so screw it.
Last one. All right. This character looks like he's running around Cloud City with a homemade ice cream maker.
All right.
All right, Mark's got something written down. Nico's looking supremely confident.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
There's something written down.
All right, let's get answers in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's start with Antonio.
Cloud City Civilian number 5.
That's his official ranking, but no, let's go with Mark.
I went Probot.
Probot, interesting. Ryan.
No blank boards, but I just wrote Queel of Not.
That sounds Star Warsy. Nico, did you have it?
Not Lobot.
It
Which is
definitely was
technically
not
correct.
Lobot. It is technically correct, but not the answer we're looking for. We're looking for Wilro Hood.
There it is. Oh
Y'all made that up.
no,
No,
it's for
but
real.
it's
That's
for
a
real.
real character.
Someone did make
That sounds like
it's not us.
the name while they were gargling. Whoa.
But yeah, that's supposedly that's one of the funnest thing at conventions is seeing like an army of Wilro Hoods running around in their orange suits with their ice cream makers.
Oh, it's that guy.
You know what? There he is.
Yeah. So fun fact, if you watch The Mandalorian, and this is not a spoiler, but a data device shows up in it. And it's a callback to that. It's the exact same ice cream maker.
All right.
Oh,
Legend of Wilbur Hood.
all right. So going on,
Mandalorian. Fantastic.
right? Going on to question number 4 in the name game category. And this is so funny because it was Mark's answer to the last one. But on what planet do you see a probot?
What?
A probot.
And it's not in the proctologist office on the medical frigate.
Okay, this is Empire. Okay, so there's a 33% chance.
I like how Ryan is trying to reason out the barroom trivia.
Oh shit! I shouldn't have started drinking.
Famous last words, my friend.
Yep.
It's a barroom
quarantine.
trivia. What don't you? Of course, you're gonna drink.
Yeah, right. It's not necessary, but it's not not shunned upon either.
You're only drinking bubbly.
I should be a Kevin in this situation. I shouldn't be Aaron. I'm just here to press buttons.
We'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And I believe we're down to Mark on this one. To start.
Yeah. There was a 2/3 chance that I was going to be right, so I went Bespin.
Okay, and Ryan.
I said Hoth.
Okay, and Nico.
I also went Hoth.
Okay, and Antonio.
I went Bespin.
Bespin. Well, 2 of y'all got it right.
Oh no.
Is it
Wait
Hoth?
for it.
Oh,
It is.
Yes.
So Probot was the first before they went and added other names. Probot is what they called the Imperial Probe Droid.
Oh yeah,
Ah.
that's how I knew it. See, I knew it wasn't crazy. I didn't make that name up. I knew Probot was in there.
Yeah,
somewhere.
it's from Star Wars.
I almost went with the ship that they were on at the end of the movie. I'm like, wait, that's not a planet.
That is not a planet.
All right, guys, we're going to have some fun with the 5th and final question of this round. We're going to do a little space gambling. Okay, so listen carefully. In honor of Han and Lando, let's play a game of chance. The Millennium Falcon is not on the line this time, just some points. So let's make a wager on the second Anytime, Anywhere title challenge. You can wager up to 3 points. If the champ retains the title, wager up to 3 points. If we go to 3, 4, or 5 questions deep. So up to 6 points are in play here. Who's going to win, the challenger or the champion for 3, and how many rounds we go for 3. So it's your choice how much you wager.
Right.
You know who's gonna play?
Not yet. You just know that Kevin Moreno starts with the title.
Okay.
So you can wait, as Corey said, wager up to 3 points as to if you think Kevin will win or not, and then these matches are determined by whoever gets 3 points first, or whoever has the highest score at the end. So you'll also wager if we're gonna just do 3 questions, or 4 questions, or 5 questions.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I think so.
Okay.
You can tell me if I did this wrong.
I do want to be clear on one thing. As you said, up to 3 points. So let's say for right now, one of us puts down 2 points to say that Kevin retains, but but we also put the same points if, let's say, Kevin or the competitor gets the 3 points.
No, you're just the first wager is if Kevin keeps the title, and the second wager is how many questions we're going to have to go through.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure.
And I'll give y'all about 10 more seconds to write your stuff down, because I know that required a little of what we call in the biz exposition.
Since this is gambling, do we also lose points if we don't get it right?
Just like Lando lost the Falcon.
Son of a Mothra. Okay. Wait, wrong franchise. Well, Mon Mothra. So okay, I'm still in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think Mon Mothra started the rebellion.
Heh.
well, she was the first to become the figurehead. She was the first to publicly make herself the figurehead. If you pay attention to
Oh
Rebels.
no, I was thinking of Mon Mothra.
Yeah, you said Mon Mothra, so you were making a hybrid Star Wars kaiju joke.
Yeah. Mon Mothra led the rebellion against Godzilla.
I have my wager ready if everyone else does.
All right.
Oh, no, don't tell me this. Okay.
All right.
Go ahead, Nico. Let's start with you.
Yeah.
Okay, I have the challenger winning for 2 points, and I have 4 questions being asked for 2 points.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Antonio, what do you got?
Oh wait, then then I'm still confused then because I just thought it was. I said 1 point that he retains it, but then I put 2 points of 2 points that I don't know that you guys were just gonna ask less than 3 or something. I don't know. I'm confused.
How many questions would be asked?
Put 3 then. Is that cool?
So,
All right, so you're betting 1 point that Kevin is, or sorry, that the champ retains. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. 1 point on the champ, and 2 points on 3 questions being asked that round.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Mark.
I am betting 0 points all the way. And that would be 0 points for all 5 questions.
All right.
Okay.
And Ryan.
Well, I can't let my boy Lando down, so I said 2 points on Kevin retaining, and then 3 points on we get 5 questions.
And 3 points on 5 questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. All right.
Don't let me down, Kevin.
Let's see what happens. Oh, wrong one. Hold on. There we go.
I'm shunching for that title. It's gonna be mine.
You will have 1 round of 5 questions. Questions can come from anywhere within the MTFO. Once the question has been read aloud, you will have 10 seconds to answer. The first competitor to score 3 points will be our winner. If both competitors score 3 points at the same time, whoever has the highest score at the end of the round wins. In the event of a tie, the champion will keep their title. Let's get it on.
Your first question is in the category of Oscars. This was Robert Redford's directorial debut and the 1981 Best Picture winner. And pins down. And we will start with Jake on this one since he's our challenger.
Somehow upset Raging Bull. Ordinary people.
Ordinary People. And Kevin?
I had Network.
And it was Ordinary People. Point for Jake. All right, your second question is in the category of Pirates of the Caribbean. Name the character portrayed by Naomi Harris in the Pirates of the Caribbean films. All right, and pins down. What have you got, Jake?
Calypso.
Okay, and Kevin?
I had Jordan.
Jordan.
Yeah.
It actually was Calypso or Tiadalma.
Yeah.
So 2 points for Jake. Question number 3 is going to come in the category of the 1990s. A League of Their Own tells the story of this female baseball team. And pins down. All right. You look like you might have struggled on that one. What have you got, Jake?
I think I might have got a word wrong. I said Rockford Peaches.
And Kevin?
I guess Yankees.
It actually is the Rockford Peaches. And your new winner of the Anytime, Anywhere title, Jake Marangoni, the Maestro.
Is it not enough that the guy's got to have like every belt like that there's ever been made in these leagues? I mean, for God's sakes.
That's why.
Hmm.
That's why I couldn't say who the challenger was, because then.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's.
You know what the best part of this is? I bet 2 points for both my bets. I got one right, one wrong. So either way, I'm fine. I just negated my bets.
I just became like Lando. I lost everything.
It's called breaking even there, Nico.
Right. So I've got I don't know, maybe we can do a score update, Corey. I got 0 points for Nico, 1 point for Antonio, 0 for Mark, and a -5 for Ryan.
Yikes.
And that's exactly what I had. So our updated total is this. Antonio shoots out to the lead with 8. Mark and Nico have 7, and Ryan drops all the way to 1.
All right. Well,
just like my Geek Tackler match, right, Mark?
Let's not talk about it, but everyone should go watch. I believe part 3 is now up.
Yeah, part 3 just premiered.
Everyone go watch
during this broadcast.
yeah, definitely check those out. And if you like what you see, shoot Corey a message, because he put a lot of time into that stuff. And
all the praise.
And did a darn fine job, if I might say so myself.
Well, I hope so. I'm checking the comments to see how bad I did, but no one's swearing at me, so it must have been okay.
Well, now that I've got you, Corey, let me tell you something about this whole thing. You know, my questions were only Star Trek heavy, and I don't appreciate. I'm kidding. It's fine.
I'm about to say no spoilers, bro.
I didn't say when it was.
Oh, here we go.
That's right.
All right. Sorry, had to find my place over here. My beer is starting to kick in. So our next category for round 3 is what we call Deja Vu. So the Empire Strikes Back introduced all of us to Force Visions and Force Ghost. Wait, what? How dare this movie introduce new elements of the Force that were not established in the first movie's canon? If you don't hate this movie, I don't think I can be friends with you anymore.
Right.
Outrage.
Wink, wink. Just kidding.
Fandom.
You don't need a Force Vision or a Force Ghost to tell you that you've seen some of these things before. All right. Let me find my little GIF. Like this guy.
Got him.
Nailed it.
All right, guys. So for your first question in this, it's going to be this. This bounty hunter first appeared in the 1978 Star Wars Holiday Special.
The holiday special. I remember racing home in a snowstorm to see that live on CBS. And, I was like 4, so it was pretty good to me at the time. It doesn't hold up, though.
Yep. I was about that age, too. I did watch it again recently. It wasn't as bad as I remembered. It was actually worse.
Yep.
All right. And pins down in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we're going to jump back over to Ryan on this one.
I think this holiday special convinced Harrison Ford not to stick with the series, but the answer was Boba Fett.
All right. And Nico?
That's my...
I went with Bosk.
Okay. And Antonio?
I went with Boba Fett.
And Mark?
Why do we have to keep talking about this stupid guy? Boba Fett.
And
sucks.
The Boba Fetts have it.
God dang it.
Soon to be seen in The Mandalorian season 2.
That's right.
No. No end. There's no end to it.
All right, we got a lot of Star Wars competitors here, so this will be interesting how many can get this one right. Question number 2. Eagle-eyed viewers recognized IG-88's head from what scene location in A New Hope?
Yeah, I've got a lot of I have my own head canon about why it was in that location.
Okay.
Get it? Head canon?
I got it.
Oh wow.
Oh,
And I'll tell you that headcanon in just a minute.
And maybe in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nico, what'd you have?
Moss Eisley Spaceport?
Okay, Antonio
I also said Mos Eisley.
and Mark.
I thought we were keeping it on brand, so I said the cantina scene.
And Ryan.
Yeah, I was rushing to finish. I wrote Mos Eisley Cantina.
So everyone was kind of close to it, but what we were actually looking for was the cantina itself in Mos Eisley. So Mark and Ryan, you get a point for that one.
All right.
And I just needed to be a little more specific than just Mos Eisley. So my headcanon is this: a whole bunch of those assassin droids showed up at Chalman's cantina, and a big ruckus broke out. And Chalman, who is a Wookiee, went old school on them, ripped them apart, and put their heads up behind the bar as a warning that we don't serve their kind here anymore.
That's
Yikes.
what I thought of. Was either a trophy or they used the droid's head to just to serve juice and just to scare the shit out of droids. It's like,
Yeah.
we don't serve your kind here.
I think they ended up being margarita machines.
Yeah.
Jeff, you went through all that. In actuality, somebody just found that in a prop house somewhere and threw it on a robot and said, "There's a bounty hunter." What are we going to call him? IG-88. Done.
Boom.
I have something. I want to talk about the cantina a little bit more in the Q&A portion.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Before we get there, though, we have question number 3 in Deja Vu, and your question is, in Empire, who wears an outfit seen in both A New Hope and on Doctor Who? This should be a fairly easy one for all these Star Wars aficionados.
I fucking hate Doctor Who. So,
I'm too drunk to get it right.
That was pretty good. I can name that song in 3 notes.
But can you name it in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1? Let's go with Mark.
I went Lando Calrissian.
Good guess, but no. Ryan?
I said Bosk.
Bosk, all right. Nico?
I also went with Lando, but I now realize I'm an idiot.
You are incredibly wrong. Antonio?
I also thought Lando also.
No, the correct answer, in fact, is Bosk. I thought Nico would go there after his first question.
They found this outfit, and that Trandoshan wore it like a Bosk.
You were just
sorry.
You prepped it up. We heard, it's like I heard you like writing it, and you're like, "Oh, this is gonna kill."
These are choking on your own aspirations level, Dad.
They really are. I'm sorry. The dad jokes come out sometimes. I try so.
Hey, man, this is your journey. We're just on it with you. So you throw them out there.
Right.
With that, we're
dad jokes. I think this was a 10 out of 10.
Thank you. I'll write it down and use it again. So moving on to question number 4. It's a little known fact that this frequent Pixar voice actor appears in The Empire Strikes Back.
And the pens came out fast on that one. I would think this is pretty easy.
There's layers and minutia to this question.
I thought you were about to
Like
say
everything you do, my friend, there's layers.
I'm like an onion.
In more ways than one.
Or a parfait.
Everybody loves parfaits.
Cake. Everyone loves cake.
I actually prefer pie.
Hey, won't say no.
All
Oh
right.
my god.
We'll give you 5, 4,
Mark is so disappointed in me.
3,
I don't have the words.
and 1. And I think we're back to Ryan on. No, we're at Mark on this one.
Well, sure. John Ratzenberger.
Okay, and Ryan.
Nico, when you said pie, I immediately thought I thought this article I came across about a cheesecake factory being looted. So my answer was John Ratzenberger.
And Nico?
I don't have a transition, so I'm just going to say John Ratzenberger.
And Antonio?
I'm surprised I got everyone else like the same thing. John Ratzenberger.
Good job, guys. Good old Cliff Clavin himself. John Ratzenberger.
Cliff.
I didn't mean to be awkward. Someone just showed me a video of it of a woman just walking out with 2 whole cheesecakes. And I thought that was
They looted the Cheesecake Factory, and she just walked away with them. It's crazy.
I'm against looting, but you almost have to respect that one.
It was on camera too. He didn't care.
You definitely have to respect that one. Let's see. Okay, so we're moving on to question number 5. Do you want to tee it up, Corey, or I can? I didn't write an explanation for this one.
You go ahead and tee it up then.
All right. So our last question of the game is a little thing called 6 degrees or less of Kevin Bacon. So what we're going to do, guys, is I'm going to give you a movie title, and what you need to do is you need to find an actor in that movie that you can connect to Kevin Bacon. So you choose an actor from the movie I give you, and pick another movie that they're in with another actor, and another movie they're in with another actor, and keep on going until you get to a movie where you can connect someone to Kevin Bacon. Now, if you're able to do it with just one movie, you'll get 6 points for not having to use all 6 degrees, and you'll lose a point from there. Does that make sense? Does anyone have any questions?
I do.
Yes.
As far as writing down the actor, do we need to also write down the movie, or can we just say it when we?
Go ahead. I'm going to give y'all a full minute for this. So go ahead and write the name of the movie and actor for each link of the chain. All right, and this is going to be a big surprise, but the movie that we're wanting to connect to Kevin Bacon tonight is The Empire Strikes Back. So you guys have a minute from right now.
I got to tell you right now, Jeff, looking at the scores, Mark, with a 2-point lead over Antonio. Nico's right there, just 3 points away. And Ryan made a big comeback in that last round with 5 points. So he's up to 5 now. Or sorry, he had 4 points at the round. He's now up to 5. So this could really go anyone's direction here.
It could be in anyone's game still.
And I suck at 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. I was only able to do this in about 2 steps.
Yeah, this is probably one of the harder 6 degrees that I've done. So this will be a challenge.
This is where we need Peggy, because she'd have this thing down in no time. It'd be in the comments already. Yeah.
She'd have like 3 or 4 choices for us. Man, I am seeing all kinds of names in the chat. I see a Bador.
Oh.
A wild Bador in the chat, yes.
Hi, Bador. And I see, let's see.
We know who Malcolm's cheering for. You got this, Ryan.
That's right.
Crap, I think the alcohol's getting to me, but I'm not going to be deterred.
All right. You know what? I didn't even look at the clock when I started, so I'll give you all another 20 seconds.
This is what you call choking under the pressure.
Yeah.
So good.
I might not even show my board.
This is where you got to remember, was James Earl Jones in Footloose?
I don't think he was he?
No, I don't think so.
That would have been pretty cool, though.
I agree. He should have been in Footloose.
Yeah.
Again, I freaking remember his movies.
I think they should do another remake of Footloose and put him in it.
Why not? They've only remade it once.
Yeah,
They're due for another one.
He would be perfect as the preacher daddy in that one.
Or the hillbilly that Kevin Bacon teaches how to dance. The Chris Penn.
That would probably be me. All right, and we're going to wrap it up in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pins down. All right, guys, let's see what you got for us. We'll start over with Ryan. Anything?
No, I blanked. I was trying to find a connection between Harrison Ford and Kevin Bacon.
I'll have to think on that one. Nico, did you get
Carrie Fisher was in The Empire Strikes Back with Harrison Ford and was in The Secret Life of Pets 2 with Kevin Hart, who was in Ride Along, and then I completely shat the bed.
You were off to a good start there. Antonio, were you able to pull one?
No, I had nothing. I was somehow trying to tie Carrie Fisher to like Meg Ryan and When Harry Met Sally, and then I just didn't even start from there. So no go.
And Mark, were you able to pull one?
I usually pride myself in my ability to 6-degree Kevin Bacon, but this time I completely choked.
I want to hear what this guy came up with right here.
I only had one. Carrie Fisher was in The Empire. She was I was linking her to Force Awakens with Greg Grunberg. Grunberg was in Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon.
Damn it! What am I saying? Yeah,
that's right.
That is
good call, man. Good call.
Bacon movies. I forgot about Hollow Man.
That.
No, I knew Hollow Man. I just thought the director was. I was thinking about JJ doing that. I didn't think about the.
I couldn't think of that guy's name, so I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Damn it! Connection with Harrison Ford. I couldn't find it.
And this is why I don't compete in singles.
Wait,
right.
Is Nikki in the chat? Because you said she had a couple of connections.
Let's see.
I'm just saying, you guys are just
probably a ton.
Let's see.
Yeah.
There's got to be 100.
Let's see. Let's take that away. And I'm going to look in the chat real quick, Corey. Or do we have? Well, I guess the score is the same, huh?
Yeah, actually, the score didn't change. I could bring it up here.
Yeah.
Tonight's winner, Mark the Maniac Camire with 11 points, followed closely by Antonio Chavaz, Nico Rigoli at 8, and Ryan bringing up the rear at 5. But a good competitive game all around.
Yeah.
I had Mark and Antonio tied at 10.
Antonio.
I had 11, so I don't know what Antonio had.
Yeah. And Antonio,
We all
I had,
win.
You got 8 points
Right.
plus one more in that last round for 9, so that's what I had.
Right.
No, let's celebrate.
It's my last night. Damn it, he had 9.
So Alex Frost wants to see them dance moves.
Whose dance moves?
You're losing me, bro.
Do we all dance?
Kevin
Do we all
Kevin
dance?
Bacon?
I guess he wants to see us get foot loose. I don't know. I'll do this one.
No.
Oh, I see.
That's all I got.
I can vote
We
for you.
actually need to stand up in order to dance, but we'll just,
There you go.
going old school with that cabbage patch.
Oh, you're right, Alex. Yeah, this is for the city.
There you
It's
go.
not
There you
gonna
go.
help it any. Yikes! But there you go.
Nice. Well, and we're gonna. I think I told folks beforehand. We're gonna keep this going for a while if people want to, and we'll do some live chatting with folks. But there's one more thing that I wanted to do with the show before we get to that. Usually we do a thing in these where we do don't leave a bad impression, where I give y'all clues to impersonate and whatnot. But I thought, Empire Strikes Back is kind of limited on how many things you can impersonate. So I thought instead of doing that, let's share some of our memories. So we'll go around, and if you guys have an Empire Strikes Back memory you want to share, have at it. If you don't have one, that's okay. You can share just a Star Wars memory. But we'll start with you guys, and then me and Corey will throw ours in at the end. So I guess we'll
I
start.
have one, but who wants to go first?
Well, you can go first, Nico.
All right. Does anyone remember the Star Wars Battlefront Rogue Squadron game for the PlayStation Portable?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
Does anyone?
I did. I played a demo.
Vaguely.
Does anyone remember the hunt mode where like you'd have a bunch of troopers, and there would be a certain number of wildlife creatures that you could play as one or the other. They had a Hoth level for that game where you could play as either 5 Wampas or an entire group of stormtroopers, and that was always a fun level for me to play because the Wampas, like, all they had to do was whack you and you'd be dead. So it was, and I like that it was just 5 against an entire army, but these 5 were so powerful that you could just win easily with them if you just kept your distance from their blaster fire. So that's my memory.
I kind of like that. That almost sounds like a prequel to the Ewok attack in the I can't think of the name, the new Star Wars.
They did have an Ewok level too for that hunt mode.
All right, that's I like that. Who else wants to share a memory?
I got one. I can share one.
Yeah, go for it.
Go ahead.
I mean, it's both an Empire and a Star Wars story because I saw all of the original trilogy at my grandparents' lake house / trailer, and every summer we would always, when I was in middle school, my brothers and I would always take turns on who gets with my cousins, whoever gets to go up to hang with their grandparents in the summer, at least for 4 to 5 weeks. And I remember when it was my turn, I went with my little brother. And I saw that my grandparents, one day, I just wanted to, kick back some time. I saw they had the original Star Wars trilogies all on VHS. And these were original. They were not unedited. They were not remastered or anything. So I started watching them. And it was there, my love of Star Wars grew. And I remember I always watched Return of the Jedi most because I loved the green lightsaber Luke had. I loved his all-black outfit. And the idea of just the Ewoks defeating the Empire was always like a nice notion for me.
Right.
Then I came home, and at the time, like in the 90s, I had the N64. I saw in a penny saver ad, Shadows of the Empire. From there, that's when my Star Wars love just greatly expanded. I never played that game, but I knew a buddy of mine who owned it. So almost every Friday or Saturday in the summer, we'll go to his house, ring the doorbell, and if he saw me there, he's like, Shadows of the Empire? Shadows of the Empire. We played baseball first, and then it's Shadows of the Empire. And it was just there with that game, developed an obsession over it.
I love all of that, friend. And I think you were going to say something, Mark.
All I was going to say was my memory of Empire Strikes Back, the earliest, is the fact that this was the first one I saw. I did not see the Star Wars movies in order when they came out. Don't know why that happened. Can't explain it. I just know that I watched Empire, had no idea what was going on. The I'm your father moment was kind of screwy. I even as a kid went, well, that's crazy. Cool stuff. And then when I finally saw New Hope, I went, wait, what's happening now? I thought they did the thing when they don't know. He doesn't know that that's his what's happening? I don't get it. I don't get Star Wars. I would have to learn later that no, here's the order you watch these. You go, oh, it makes sense now. So that's my funny Empire Strikes Back memory. That and the fact that Empire is still probably the best one. Even now.
Yeah, it's. I think it's hard to argue with that last sentiment there. Antonio, do you have a Empire story or a Star Wars story you want to share?
What's funny is that Ryan just brought up Shadows of the Empire, and that was actually my favorite Nintendo 64 game growing up. And it was almost like it's sort of related to Empire in the sense that a guy named Dash Rendar, who's like pretty much a ripoff of Han Solo, but he still has a cool ship named the Outrider. And just playing that game also made me think of just Empire because of all that, because you get to play in the Battle of Hoth as the first level, and also you're still in the whole snow level, pretty much the second level. Also, you get to go to Ord Mantell, which Han brings up in Empire, and play both as a boss. And so just all that, just as a kid, sort of relating that to Empire rather than New Hope, I just really liked like sort of growing up with that. And the same thing with Mark. I think Empire was the first one I saw. But my favorite part of Empire, I would say, as far as like a memory, in the sense that like Han Solo is my favorite character. So like the one scene that solidified his badassery for me forever was the asteroid field, only because I love the score.
Yeah,
I love how he flies. And I was just like, all right, after that, he's my favorite character. I mean, I understand Luke's the main one, but Han's my favorite character.
Yeah.
So I was tired of watching that scene, just because of the music and how it felt. Right.
It's just that scene is so well put together.
Yeah.
How about you, Mr. Yes.
Oh, do you kids remember video stores?
Yes.
Yeah. There still is a family video in my neighborhood.
Well, I'm going to take you all the way back to 1984.
Mr. Video.
My family got a VCR in 1983, and the first movie I ever rented was Star Wars. I'd seen it before in '78 during one of the releases at the drive-in, but '84 was the first opportunity I would have had to watch Empire. And I live in a little podunk town in Saskatchewan, Canada, and we had a video store that got in 2 copies of The Empire Strikes Back. And I remember it taking almost a full calendar year before I was able to get there quick enough to grab a copy to rent. We tried every single Friday to rent The Empire Strikes Back, and it was always out. And it took, I bet you it was September, October. It was right around my birthday in September. We finally got a copy to watch, and that was my first viewing of The Empire Strikes Back in, geez, that would have been like 95 or 85, sorry.
Wow.
Was it worth the wait?
Absolutely. But my parents have been buying me all the toys before that. So I had the Imperial Walker. I had all the snow play sets and stuff. I just had no reference for it because I hadn't seen the movie yet.
You were prepared, though.
Yeah, like this little green guy is cool. His name is Yoda or something. I hope he's on the movie.
Right. I just happen to have a show and tell item here. And this wasn't really going to be the story I was going to tell, but I thought of it while y'all were telling yours. But I had, and I just recently got this back from my mom's place, but the soundtrack to The Empire Strikes Back on vinyl. And I used to play that on my little record player whenever I played with any of my action figures. It didn't matter if I was playing with Star Wars toys or G.I. Joe or Transformers. John Williams wrote the soundtrack to all of them. So that's kind of my Empire story from that time. And I even remember like when I'd be playing with them, like as the music would change, I would kind of change up what was going on with the toys. So yeah, I think this is a movie that, you know, all of us that are fans of geek or sci-fi or that have grown up with this movie, you know, it has definitely permeated all of our lives in some way or another. So this was really cool getting to do a barroom trivia to celebrate this movie and have some fun talking about it. I mean, you know, there's enough stuff going on right now that we need an opportunity to check out and just have some fun and hang out. So I think this was a good opportunity for that tonight. And like I said, we're going to stay on for a little while, but I'm going to go ahead and have everyone, we'll go around and everyone can kind of sign off and you can, you know, tell people where to follow you if you want to, or what you've got going on if you want to share that. And then, like I said, we'll stay on for another 30 minutes or so if y'all want to, and we can chit chat with everyone in the live stream. But we'll start back over here with Ryan and then work our way around.
People can, you know, find me back on the MTFO, you know, when World War Geek's over. Otherwise, check out my letterbox. I'm slowly starting to get into the habit of going on the letterbox now. The login, my handle is Valentine316. I recently just completed a movie marathon of all the James Bond movies and of all the Mission Impossible movies. So I did a ranking list of them. And I'm going to probably look for another like franchise or another serial list to go into, like all the Universal monster movies and rank them as well, you know, depending on connecting universes. Because I think I kind of want to do that, just rank movies of connecting universes. So yeah, check me out on Letterboxd and whenever any other trivia matches pop up.
All right, Mr. Maniac. Oh wait,
And he's gone again.
he's gone again. Nico.
You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at Nico Suave Rigoli, or just Nico Suave with 4 random meaningless numbers at the end here on Discord. What do I got going on? June 5th, I believe that's a Friday. I will be defending my Choke Slam debate championship over at TMG Entertainment's Scratch and Claw 2 event against Ryan Big O'Regan. Ryan Payne here was a judge for that match, and he can vouch for me that it was a good match, so stay tuned for that. Also, June 9th, I believe I will be taking on Tyler Butler in the first round of the Multiplex Phantom Fights Summer Series 2020 tournament. So tune in for that as well. And at some point this month, I'll be challenging Liam Crowley for the Combat Wrestling Trivia Workhorse Championship in an Ironman format over at Nerd Entertainment Network. So stay tuned for that whenever a date is made. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
All right. And we lost you for a second there, Mark. Where can the kids find you at home?
That's why you don't push buttons, because things happen. You can find me at Instagram and Twitter at Mark the Bat. All my ramblings and what have you. Check me out in the podcasting space, and also if you are in the Nashville area, be on the lookout in August. We've got some gigs coming up, and would love to have you all come out and show support. And yeah, that's what I got going on.
Nice. And Antonio?
You can also find me in the MTFO. On Twitter, you can always find me at NY_Nemesis92. And I actually might be starting up something up soon, like a show/podcast. Details to be determined, but just I'm still just trying to get it together with a friend of mine. But otherwise, yeah, they may be starting soon.
Nice. Fantastic. And I'm not going to forget Corey.
Oh, that echo is really starting. All right. Well, this is now officially my last duty with the Movie Trivia Face-Off. I've been with them since April of last year and had a tremendous time. I kind of said once I got through World War Geek, I was going to ride off into the sunset, and World War Geek is now done and up. So you can check out who the first Geektacular champion of the MTFO is. It's in 3 parts, so check out all 3. We had a lot of fun, and a lot of Schmodown personalities were nice enough to help us out with that. But now I'm going to be moving on to the podcast space, and I'm actually joining a podcast feed with my friends Jeff and Mark here called Feeding the Monster. So you can check us out there. And got my own show on that feed that we just taped the first episode of today. So it's going to be dropping next week. Other than that, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at CD Morrissette.
Yeah, and I want to say, while I'm still in the MTFO, before I step away, on behalf of the MTFO, on behalf of the admins and everyone, we're like so thankful for the time you put in there, Corey. This year, 2020, as far as like the quality of the product that we've been able to put out on the channel, it has just been nothing less than amazing. And I know that your editing skills and production skills are a big part of that. So hopefully some of what you've done will stick, and whoever picks up the mantle next will learn from what you've done and carry the MTFO to even a higher place.
Well, and thank you for that. And you offended Mark so bad he left again.
I know.
So good job. But we could all say the same thing about you, Scribbs. You made everything about the MTFO fun. The Anytime Anywhere is a fantastic idea. The Barroom Trivia, which we had a lot of fun with tonight. And just the storyline stuff you helped out the entire league with. Much more of a loss than myself is you leaving the MTFO. And I know I could speak for you, Jeff, when I say we really hope somebody picks up the mantle and it keeps that league going, because there's a lot of good folks in that league, including the 4 gentlemen that joined us here tonight. And I just can't wait to kind of kick back and watch again as a fan, as opposed to sweating over meeting a deadline after working all day and dealing with a young family of 4 and finding 3 or 4 spare hours a night to edit a match. So it's going to be nice just to cool down and slow things up a little bit.
Yeah, and I'll definitely echo that. I'm looking forward to being a fan again. Being a fan first and foremost is what brought me into this space, and if not for this space, there's a bunch of people that wouldn't be in my life now, and I've made a lot of good friends here, and a lot of friends who I am friends with and do stuff with outside of this space. So I mean, anytime something like that happens, it's pretty neat. It's great that we have like a space like this as Schmoedown fans, where we can come together and do fun stuff, you know, and be a part of stuff like the Schmoedown. You know, this is our version of it. So I'm very thankful for the opportunities that I've had in the MTFO, for the chances to scratch my creative itches, and you know, come up with some wild, harebrained ideas and see what works and what doesn't. So hopefully people have got a kick out of some of the stuff I've done. Hopefully some of the things that I've done will live on after I step down. But to those of you here with us tonight, and those of you watching, you know, if you think that, you know, you've got some editing skills or storytelling skills, or just some ideas that you might like to see if it works, definitely reach out to the admin team. You know, there's definitely going to be some holes to fill, and I know that they would love to hear from you guys if you think you might be able to help out in that capacity. So do that. And I can't wait to see what the new crop cooks up for us to watch. No, El Scribbler is retiring too.
And here's one from your buddy, Jeff.
Oh, I'm going to miss you too, Chris. You keep on being you, man, and don't let anyone hold you down.
Anyone got any questions for us in the chat?
Yeah.
Thank you, by the way, Malcolm.
I got no questions, but I definitely I echo the sentiments, and you know, having worked with the two of you, you know, relatively frequently, I can say that this league is going to miss your presence greatly. And maybe that's just my selfish bias coming in on that, but whatever. They don't understand. A lot of people on the outside don't understand what all goes into making these matches happen. And I know you guys are like a big part. Corey, don't sell yourself short at all. Like you've been a huge part of everything that this league has you know, grown to be. So to the both of you, I say I'm sad that you're not continuing, but I respect your decisions, and you know, yeah, this kinda very much hurts. So
Well, thanks for that, Mark.
of course.
Yeah.
And there's a message from Colton, one of the new competitors in the MTFO, that I thought was very nice.
And I'll echo those sentiments as well. I've been around a while, and I know that running a league is hard. I've had limited capacity roles in the runnings of some leagues in the past, and it didn't work out for me, but I was still able to compete and keep a good relationship with all involved. You two were genuinely good at keeping things, at keeping the ship running, and you had people who had followed things behind the scenes. They know that the earlier batch of people running MTFO might not have had the most patience that you would have liked to see a league runner have, but you two had a lot of that in spades. We never felt as scared to come to you if anything needed to be addressed. You kept your cool, you kept your calm, and hopefully whoever takes over your positions will have that same level of patience, that same level of understanding of what this game means to people, and do their best to try and make sure everything keeps cool and keeps the ship running.
Good call. Thanks, Nico.
Thank you for saying that. Let's see. Is there anything in the on the comments?
We got one from Malcolm here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good.
What is your favorite acting performance in the Star Wars franchise?
Oh man. Can I do this one first?
Yeah.
You can. Yeah, sure. Show, buddy.
I'm going to actually, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff. But, you know, and some of this is because we talked about it earlier today, Corey. So I hope I don't steal your answer. But Adam Driver, man, that guy, the performance he gave through the sequel trilogy, I think he, just by performance alone, regardless of what was written on script or direction or anything, he like sold that character and sold that character's arc. Even the parts of it that weren't like the strongest story wise, and that's really something. I'm looking forward to seeing like other stuff he does, and I've enjoyed the other stuff that I have seen so far that he's done.
I'll say Sam Witwer, Darth Maul in the animated series. Like he gave his heart and soul and passion into every performance, and Dave Filoni was wise enough to pretty much shape the actual animation around his performances in the voiceover room. So like you can always count on getting a top-notch performance by Sam Witwer.
Agreed.
Absolutely. And these last, I'm not going to spoil anything, but the last season of the Clone Wars, wow.
I will have to say, for me, the longest time had always been Mark Hamill's performance, because in the original trilogy, he always does his best to give you a Luke Skywalker at certain moments of his life, where you're meeting him as pretty much a young, almost bratty-ish kind of kid in Tatooine who just wants to do something with his life, to where he's sort of seasoned but still very impatient in Empire, to where he wants to become a powerful Jedi, or at least he wants to do more. And then you see him in Return of the Jedi, to where he has a focus in hand, and that reserved focus to save Han, to return to Yoda, save his father. Always you saw 3 different character arcs within Luke in the original trilogy. And despite what people say about his performances in The Last Jedi, I still think The Last Jedi, we got a good performance from Luke, from Mark Hamill. But a second close, it's a tie between Daisy Ridley and D. Bradley Baker, who did the voices of all the clones in the Clone Wars.
Oh,
man.
wow. Yeah.
Did
Good call.
such a good job giving us these characters of Fives, Jesse, Echo, Hardcase, Rex, all of them with such different personalities and in their own independence in sort of ways. So whatever happens moving forward, I know I'm so glad I was able to actually get a chance to watch every episode of the Clone Wars on Disney Plus. Even some of the ones I got to see in the past on Cartoon Network and Toonami. It just shows voice acting was a huge mountain, but D. Bradley Baker was able to really handle that weight with such finesse professionalism.
Yeah, that's a great pull. And I think that's probably one that a lot of people overlook. But yeah, every single one of those clones, like they had their own. They were all like individual, but at the same time had the same voice. And yeah, that's incredible work.
It's hard for me to pinpoint just one that's been my favorite, because they all, like, each series kind of has a particular standout. I think personally, Witwer's a very good call. And that's coming from a guy who's only seen Clone Wars and Rebels via clips. And even those Darth Maul clips that I've seen, I haven't actually watched all the series yet. I will. Even those are just incredibly compelling. But I gotta say, it's kind of a tough act between Carrie Fisher's performance just as Leia, sequel trilogy or the original, whichever you prefer, because she kind of has to be the voice of reason. Sometimes she has to make more sense than the other boys about everything going on, and she's the youngest between them, and it's really captivating watching her on screen, especially in the sequels, as she's kind of the wiser general. But I gotta say, it's really difficult not to say Ewan McGregor, because how do you make sense? Let's be real. I don't care if you love the prequels or you hate them. It's sometimes, let's all be real, those prequels are hard to get through, let's just say. But him as Obi-Wan is hands down, at least in my opinion, the best part of all 3 of them. And I'm excited to see where his journey as Obi-Wan goes for the Disney Plus show. Let's hope we actually get it with everything happening. And then an honorable mention to the granddaddy emperor himself, Ian McDiarmid. I mean, he's just he only has to play really one note, but boy, does he play that one note so well. Just the nefarious and the vileness of being just a true blue villain. It's that's hard to replicate. So yeah, those will be my picks there.
I think going off of Whitwer, I think we're forgetting. I mean, I know you guys probably haven't forgotten, but he also was killing it as Star Killer in the Force Unleashed games. I know those are not canon, but those his act. I don't know if he did the motion capture, his acting, and he also did the voice of the Emperor in the game too. Who's you hear it, it's just like hearing McDiarmid. So I gotta give him props on that. I also love seeing him compete as a Star Wars competitor. But then I'm biased because, like I said, Han Solo's my favorite character. I think Harrison's performance in Empire, just because live a line as iconic as I know and last for all these years. Obviously, people say, "Oh, it's a fluke," but I don't know. I just think that those two lines right there, "I love you, I know," and then that just always solidifies his performance as the best for me in that whole movie. Return of the Jedi, he didn't have that much to do with, but I think Empire is where he really got to, really show the full range of himself as Han. And then honorable mention, it's kind of funny though, Jeremy Bulloch as Boba Fett in Return of the Jedi, because he didn't have to say one word, and he was able to pull off flirting with alien girls, and then just getting hit, and then just screaming, and then just falling onto the Sarlacc pit.
Boba Fett.
He mastered the
He was
will.
flirting with girls without saying a word.
Yeah. Well, those are all amazing choices. I want to second actually Ryan's choice of Luke Skywalker in Last Jedi, because whatever you think of that portrayal of Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill crushed it. So that would be an honorable mention for me. But the question was, what is your favorite acting performance? And my favorite has forever and always been Peter Mayhew as Chewbacca. Chewbacca has always been my favorite character. Peter Mayhew just infuses so much humanity in that character, just the way that he embodies Chewbacca. Whether he's in pain or whether he's joking or whether he's mad, I always got it, and I always just really appreciated Peter Mayhew's performance.
I want to give two more honorable mentions. One to the entire cast of Solo, simply because I feel like this movie has aged better with time, simply because it was surrounded by outside criticism that had nothing to do with the movie itself, but rather, why is this being made? And then once you actually take the time to watch it a few times, you develop an appreciation for it, and you, especially for the actors and the effort they're putting into honoring these characters, like Alden Ehrenreich and Donald Glover as Lando and Han at a younger age. They had an insurmountable task, and they made the absolute most of it. And also the entire cast of the Battlefront 2 story mode, because a lot of people, I don't think, realize how much it adds to the lore and how great Gina Gavankar's performance as Iden Versio is in that game. But not just her, everyone else in the game as well, including the DLC.
There is one extra honorable mention I want to throw out, and even though it's only in one movie, I still love his performance and what he was able to do with the bland George Lucas script that was in front of him and the direction, and that's Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn. Because, look, as much as the Phantom Menace has been hated and lauded, I've looked at over time, and Phantom Menace, it doesn't deserve the hate, but Liam Neeson's performance, he gives a character, because Liam Neeson, he had humor, he had weight, seriousness, and personality into a character that, to be honest, if you just look at his lines in general, it could have been done. The fact he was able to do so much with the minimal direction that George Lucas gave him. Let's be honest, we all know Sam Jackson did not give a minimum of effort when it came to his performances, because he's reading the same lines in the same flat tone every single time. He only exudes some energy when he's about to get killed by, the Emperor. That's about it. But
I'd argue that's a character choice.
But even Liam Neeson, though, like whenever he's talking to the council with Obi-Wan, his Anakin, everyone else, he gives this sense of gentleness with the Qui-Gon. And I love the fact that throughout the movie, you see him, he's using the Force to try to manipulate people into doing what he wants. With the Gungans trying to get to Naboo, with Watto trying to get hyperdrive, even though he fails. It shows that even though he's a Jedi, he's not 100% light. He knows he has to use the Force in order to get by, in order to get what he wants. So, and despite what some legends or what Reddit threads can say about him being tempted to be the dark side, I still think Qui-Gon gave us a very flawed but good character out of Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, I mean, he made Qui-Gon personable and
You
relatable.
lost me at Reddit threads.
You know, I was just thinking Qui-Gon should have hopped a shuttle to Canto Bight. He would have cleaned up. He would have ended up with a red plum bloom.
That's true. And to answer Chris's, I guess, question, Frank Oz. Yeah, Frank Oz is a dude. No, we love you. Everyone loves Yoda. How do you not love Yoda? Of course, it's like, yeah. So is that your question? Just Frank Oz?
He's wondering why
I acknowledge him.
I'm hoping puppet Yoda, not CGI Yoda.
Ugh, yikes. And also one more honorable mention for one movies and in the same vein as Ryan. And I agree with you about Qui-Gon for sure, or about Liam's performance, but I am really excited if they go through with it for Disney Plus, the K2S show with Cassian Andor, because I thought Diego Luna was fantastic in that role, and we did not get enough of him. So I'm excited for that show. I hope it happens.
Yeah, him and Alan Tudyk, they both brought it to Rogue One, and I'm looking forward to seeing them in that. And I love like a good spy movie or a spy story.
Sure.
So that's like right up my alley. But
does anyone think it's weird? I'm sorry.
Well, no, go ahead.
I was saying, does anyone think it's weird we haven't mentioned James Earl Jones as Vader? Or is that really acting?
He's my top. I love James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
He was
two guys in one, but
yeah,
he was good in the original trilogy, but as he's aged and they've brought him back for certain things, his voice sounds different, and you can tell, and that kind of takes you out of the experience a little bit. Not saying that diminishes his past work, but like,
right.
It's one of those things of overstaying your welcome.
Yeah. Well, I think his performance is fine. It's really well done. It's just not, my favorite performance out of all we listed. It's good. I think it's definitely worth a mention, maybe even a top 5.
Yes.
But yeah, like just for me personally, I couldn't say James Earl Jones just because he's done voice acting before. Like, I know what that sounds like. I've seen him work. I know what he's capable of. And, we got that. That's just me.
I know if it came to James Earl Jones performances, then yes, Darth Vader would definitely be one of my top, 2. Hell, maybe top 1. Interchange between that and him as the king in Coming to America. But it was just with James Earl Jones.
King Joffrey.
It's pretty much Darth Vader. But it's nicer. That's it.
Yeah, there's so many lines I want to say right now that I'm going to refrain from saying.
It was Star Wars. James Earl Jones will always be in my top 5, but there's always new. I mean, Adam Driver, he can closely overtake him. Harrison Ford is still up there. Carrie Fisher is definitely up there. I mean, when it comes down to it, I will never forget James Earl Jones as Darth Vader, though. But as was mentioned, when they kept bringing him back, they were trying to. It slightly takes away the mystique of his performance. I'm not holding him in high regard, but it's just like, when you start hearing his older voice, like you hear some cracks in there. Like he's not able to hold that commanding tone he has in New Hope and in Empire. So when you start seeing it falter a little bit, it does slightly waver his performance in the original trilogy. Not by a lot, but it was just like, it can't be my number 1. I'm sorry, Chris. It's just it doesn't immediately come to memory.
Okay, so I'm seeing that we're kind of running low on time. I know you said you had to be out by 40. So I want to take a moment to just say the Cantina story that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, go for it.
So a couple years ago, might have been actually might have been way more than a couple of years ago. Nerdist, they did something on their YouTube channel with a set they made of the Star Wars Cantina. I think Ryan remembers what I'm talking about here. They did an American Idol style skit where they were trying to find a new band for the Cantina, and in the skit they have Chris Daughtry dressed as Darth Maul. So it's like Chris Darthtree, I believe was his name in that skit. What you might not know is that they had plans to do another thing with that set. And what they were going to do is they were going to bring in John Taffer from Bar Rescue. And he was basically going to do a bar rescue of the cantina and have John Taffer yell at the cantina owner of like, you've got dead people over here. You've got filth over here. What's wrong with you? Get your shit together. And sadly, they sold the set before they could do the skit. And so it's just like one of those what if Star Wars things that I've just always hoped someday we'll eventually get that back.
Man, what a missed opportunity. But one opportunity I don't want to miss before we call this quits is, do you guys want to watch one more match?
Sure.
I know.
I've got
title.
Yeah, I've got one more queued up if you want to watch it.
Yeah, I'm good.
And the rest of these, you'll just have to watch for them. I'm not sure when they're going to be coming out, but let's see if we won't wager on this one. But let's see if Jake's able to retain the title.
Ugh.
And then we'll close it at the end of this.
Yo, Jake, I want that anytime, anywhere battle. Let me. I'm challenged for it. Let's go.
You will have 5 questions. Questions may come from anywhere within the MTFO. Once the question has been read aloud, you will have 10 seconds to answer. The first competitor to score 3 points will be our winner. In the event that there's a tie, the highest score at the end of the round wins. If there's a tie at the end of the round, the champion retains the title. Let's get it on.
All right, our first question is in the realm of DC films. And your question is, what Batman film was released in 1993? And pins down. All right, Amaru, you're our challenger. What have you got?
I'm hoping my gut didn't screw me on this. Batman Forever.
Okay, and Jake?
Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
Oh.
And it is the Mask of the Phantasm.
That stupid movie again. Not stupid because it's stupid. It's just, it screws me a lot.
It's good stuff. All right, our next question comes in the category of Oscars. And your question is, for what film did Steven Spielberg win his first Oscar for Best Director? All right, and pins down. And we will go back to Amaru as our challenger.
Schindler's List.
Okay, and Jake?
Schindler's List.
And it is Schindler's List. So we are at
2-1.
2-1. No, 2-1.
There you go. Come on, Wizarding World. Let's go.
All right. For your next question, we are going to the category of the 2000s. And your question is, what is the name of Benjamin and Daisy's daughter in The Curious Case of Benjamin Buttons? All right, and pins down. And Amaru, what have you got for us?
Oh, I figured this is going to be a quick and easy. I'll see you later, Jake. Carol.
And Jake?
Actually, not sure on this one. I said Rosie.
Rosie. Well, you know what? It was actually, you were pretty close, Amaru. What we were looking for was Carolyn or Caroline.
That's actually really close.
It was very close, very close. All right. Our next question is in the category of comedy. Ha 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 ha. What is the name of the country club in Caddyshack?
Oh no.
All right, and pins down. All right, Amaru, as our challenger again, what do you have?
I just heard this and didn't remember it. It's completely wrong. Rutterstown.
Okay, and Jake?
Bushwood.
It is Bushwood. And with that, Jake retains the Anytime, Anywhere belt.
Good job, sir. Good job.
Good job,
Thank you.
Jake. The Maestro Marangoni.
I had a lot of hopes to win that title eventually, but now that Jake Marangoni has it, I'm just gonna see myself out.
You'll just have to watch.
That would be a
You just
perfect
have to watch.
opportunity.
I gotta give him props. I didn't think Jake was gonna get Bushwood, so respect.
Yeah, those were a lot of fun, and it's going to be fun watching them play out. And that's one thing I'm looking forward to as a fan. But with that, I know me and Corey got to get somewhere, so we're going to sign out before we get in trouble for being tardy. You folks, thanks for watching tonight. It's been a blast. And whatever you do it gloriously.